Good morning, Vande Matram. Welcome all of you. So this is a great day for us. We know this is 20th November, when on this day on 1973, mother's physical body was laid to rest inside the that samadhi. This is a great day for us. It is a day of meditation today. So this is on this day we are going. Some people feel on that occasion, at that point of time, people felt this is a great loss. It is the end of an era. Something they felt in their own thought and own feelings. But people felt who are in an awakened state, in an conscious state, they felt it is a great beginning, the beginning of the matrix of the new time. So something great is going to happen. Anyway, this day we are going to discuss the great topic that is on the destined meeting place. So book 5 canto 1, this is very on one of the, it is the smallest episode so far we have seen. So this topic of discussion we are going to discuss here, love in the wilderness met Savitri. This is a great topic. It is a great beginning, matrix of new time. So naturally we are proceeding forward with a new concept, new life, new era. And it begins with the discussion in this process of Savitri summarization session. Love in the wilderness met Savitri. So almost less than 3 pages. This canto we can see, book 5, canto 1, the destined meeting place. Anyway, we are going forward with that concept only. Sri Aurobindo writes, before summarization, let us read few lines. Book 5, Canto 1, The Destined Meeting Place. We are going to concentrate more upon the focused topic, the love in the wilderness met Savitri. So this is the topic of discussion right now, love in the wilderness met Savitri. Sri Aurobindo begins the canto with following lines, but now the destined spot and hour were close. So just imagine this is a place. What is the place? That is the meeting place. And of course, before meeting place, another adjective has been used, that is destined meeting place, meeting place, and destined meeting place. So the an hour began, that is the matrix of new time. We are going to read, of course we are going to summarize in our own terms what has been gloriously represented by Sri Aurobindo. But now the destined spot and hour were close. Destined spot and hour, space and time. So we are close. Unknowing she had neared her nameless goal. Unknowing Sri Aurobindo course, we have nothing to focus upon, because this is a human lila. This is of course from the surface. Unknowing she had neared her nameless goal. For though a dress of blind and devious chance is laid upon the work of all wise fate. So just imagine Savitri, the most conscious soul, the supramental avatar, unknowing, when Sri Aurobindo using the term unknowing, she had neared her unknowing and nameless goal, there will be definitely some significant in his indications. For though a dress of blind and devious chance, is laid upon the work of all wise fate. Our acts interpret an omniscient force. That dwells in the compelling stuff of things. And nothing happens in the cosmic play but at its time and in its foreseen place. Nothing happens in the cosmic play, only what happens but at its time and in its foreseen place. Then to a space she came of soft and delicate air. That seemed a sanctuary of youth and joy. To a space she came of soft and delicate air. Air was soft and delicate. That seemed a sanctuary of youth and joy. Then a highland world of free and green delight. Sanctuary of youth and joy. Air soft and delicate. A highland world of free and green delight. where spring and summer again, spring and summer lay together and strove an indolent and amicable debate how it is an indolent and amicable debate. So if we find the dualities like soft and delicate air, time and foreseen space, sanctuary of youth and joy, highland world of free and green delight, spring and summer laid together and stove, indolent and amicable duet. So just imagine the use of dualities by Sri Aurobindo. Unarmed, disputing with laughter, she would rule. Unarmed, disputing with laughter she would rule, their expectation beat wide, suddening wings. Expectation beat wide, suddening wings, as if a soul had looked out from earth's face. Soul had looked out from earth's face, and all that was in her felt a coming change. Because she is expecting, of course, she is meant for that. She has come with that vision and mission. So, all that was in her felt a coming change, and forgetting obvious joys and the common dreams, obvious joy, it is not applicable here because a great change is going to happen and a great hour is approaching. Obedient to time's call and to the spirit's fate, obedient to time's call and to the spirit's fate, was lifted to a beauty calm and pure. Again, obedient to time's call, to the spirit's fate, was lifted a beauty of calm and pure that lived under the eyes of eternity. Again, we are going. A crowd of mountainous heads assailed the sky. Just imagine how that find the feel the rhythm of the words used by Sri Aurobindo. A crowd of mountainous heads assailed the sky, pushing towards rival shoulders nearer heaven. The armored leader of an iron line, earth prostrate lay beneath their feet of stone. Earth prostrate lay beneath their feet of stone. Below them crouched a dream of emerald woods. Below them crouched a dream of emerald woods and gleaming borders of borders solitary as sleep. Again, pale waters ran like glimmering threads of pearl. Pale waters ran like glimmering threads of pearl. Just water is pale and glimmering like the threads of pearl. A sigh was straying among happy lips. A sigh was straying among happy lips. Pale water, threads of pearl. Sigh, their happy lips. Cool perfumed with slow, pleasure burdened feet. Cool perfumed with slow, pleasure burdened feet. Faint stumbling bridges faltered among flowers. So let us go and summarize. We have known this is only less than 2.5 pages maximum. This is the of course this is the smallest canto we have ever read in Savitri. So let us go for the summarization because this is the session of Savitri summarization. The destined place and hour we are now near. Destined place and hour we are now near. Unknown to her, she has come close to her goal. Unknown to her, she has come close to her goal. Maybe unknown, but the thing is that she is very conscious soul. Anyway, Sri Aurobindo is using, so we must accept it gladly. Nothing really appears by chance because it is predestined. Nothing really appears by chance, that is only an appearance. Already that's what we are seeing. Everything is an appearance, but nothing appears by chance. Everything has been prefixed, predestined. Everything is guided by an omniscience, and things takes place at omnipotent place and time. Everything guided by an omniscience, and things take place at the appointed place and time. Savitri now arrives at a spot of fresh life and felicity. Arrives at a spot of fresh life and felicity. A great expectation is in the air. Something great is going to happen. It has been predestined. A great thing going to happen. The great change is bound to come. Mountains, woods, waters, and the birds. Here in the quotes here. So the mountains, woods, waters, and the birds all are bathed in the dreamy happiness. We take bath in water, but here the bathing is in dreamy happiness. It is as if the earth is having a romance with her lover, heaven. Everything is blissful, everything is pregnant with felicity. There is a outburst of rapture, beatitude. So let us go for another few lines. We'll quote and then we'll go come for the summarization. It is a on the second page, we very second page we see here the white crane stood a vivid motionless streak, peacock and parrot jeweled soil and tree, peacock and parrot jeweled soil and tree, the dove's soft moan enriched the enamored air, and fire winged wild drakes swam in silvery plumes spools. Earth couched alone with her great lover heaven. Earth couched alone with her great lover heaven, uncovered to her concert's azure eye. Just imagine how the scenario is changing and how the blissfulness, the enchantment of nature we can find here. In a luxurious ecstasy of joy, she squandered the love music of her notes. In a luxurious ecstasy of joy, she squandered the love music of her notes, wasting the passionate pattern of her blooms and the festival riot of her scents and hues. Festival riot of her scents and hues. A cry and a leap and a hurry was around. All is at beauty's festival that just find the straight hints of the nature's happiness. A cry and deep and hurry was around. The stealthy footfalls of her clashing things, the shaggy emerald of her creature men, the gold and sapphire of her warmth and blaze, magician of her rapt felicities, breathe, sense-sated, carefulness and divine. Just imagine life ran or hid in her delightful rooms. Everything is delighted. Just imagine. Here in the quotes, magician of her rapt felicities, bleed, sense-sated, careless, and divine. Life ran or hid in her delightful rooms. Again, behind all brooded nature's grandiose calm. Great nature has been remarked by and described by Sri Aurobindo. Behind all brooded nature's grandiose calm, primeval peace was there, and in its bosom held undisturbed the stripe of bird and beast. Held undisturbed the stripe of bird and beast, man, the deep broad artificer, had not come to lay his hand on happy, inconscient things. Man, the deep-browed artificer, had not come to lay his hand on happy, inconscient things. Thought was not there, nor the measurer, strong-eyed toil. Life had not learned to discord in its aim, so it is about to be new life to born, new dream to be fulfilled, everything to have. Life had not learned to its discord with its aim. The mighty mother lay outstretched at edge. Finally, after nature, mountain, river, and all, then man. Then comes the mighty mother lay outstretched at edge. All was in life with her fast satisfied plan. The mighty mother lay outstretched at edge. All was in line with her fast satisfied plan. Moved by a universal will of joy, the trees bloomed in their green felicity. That moved by the universal will of joy, entire joyfulness, moved by a universal will of joy, the trees bloomed in their green felicity, and the wild children brooded not in pain. At the end reclined a stern and giant tract. At the final tract of the journey, of course, theoretically final or last, but it is a beginning of new one. At the end reclined a stern and giant tract of tangled drapes and solemn questioning hills, peaks like bare austerity of the souls, armored, remote and desolately grand like the thought-screened infinities that lie behind the rapt smile of the almighty dance. Here entirely we can find joy, rapture, felicity, beatitude, delight, rapture, bliss. So the description of this all nature is at beauty's festival. So just imagine how this gloriously this joy has been overjoyed here. A matted forest had invaded heaven. Matted forest had invaded heaven as if blue-throated ascetic peered from the stone fastness of his mountain cell regarding the brief gladness of her days. Just imagine how this image has been used and a great comparison. A matted forest head invaded heaven as if bleed-throated ascetic peered from the stone fastness of his mountain cell. Regarding the brief gladness of the days, again the gladness, joy, bliss, sensated, bliss, rapture, beatitude, and lastly, finally we find gladness of the days. His vast extended spirit couched behind. His vast extended spirit couched behind a mighty murmur of immense retreat, besieged the air, a sad and limitless call as if a soul retiring from the world. So, a mighty murmur of immense retreat besieged the ear, a sad and limitless call as if a soul are retiring from the world. So, towards the final part, we can see this was the scene which the ambiguous mother had chosen for her brief felicitous hour. Again, after gladness, we can find felicity. This was the scene which the ambiguous mother had chosen for her brief felicitous hour. Here in this solitude, far from the world, her part she began in the world's joy and strife. Again, we can find the description of joy. Here in this solitude, far from the world, her part she began in the world's joy and strife. Here we are disclosed to her the misty course. Here we are disclosed to her the misty course, the lurking doors of beauty and surprise. Again, beauty. Here we are disclosed to her the mystic course, the lurking doors of beauty and surprise, the wings that murmur in the golden house, the temple of sweetness and fairy isles, temple of sweetness, golden house, lurking doors of beauty and surprise, mystic course. Then the temple of sweetness and the fairy isle. Then we can find at the 11th moment, or almost at the end, a stranger on the sorrowful roads of time. Time, how it is in the sorrowful roads of time. Here is a stranger. Immortal under the yoke of death and fate. Definitely she is immortal, but here under the yoke of death and fate. Sacrificant of bliss and the pain of the spheres. Sacrificant of the bliss and the pain of the spheres. Love in the wilderness met Savitri. There is a great meeting, great Mahamidon so called, we can find here. Anyway, let us summarize to some extent. Behind all the majestic calm of the nature, man had not come here to disturb the primeval peace of the rain. Had not come to disturb, usually the nature of man to disturb the solemnity, but here man had not yet come to disturb the primeval peace of the region. At the borders of the track, the solemn hill that rise up in the skies like meditative ascetics. Just imagine, nothing is disturbed, primeval loneliness is there. So at the borders of the tract, there are solemn hills that rise up in the skies like meditative ascetics. This is the scene chosen by the indefinable mother. Scene chosen by the indefinable mother of all in the forms of Savitri for her brief felicities. She has chosen ambiguous mother, the only that it is called indefinable mother of all in the form of Savitri, chosen for her own felicity, her lila. Here in solitude commences her part. In this solitude commences her part in the joy and strife of the world. Commences in the form of the mother. She is coming for her lila and of course take the once again to begin her divine unfinished work. Solitude here commences her part in the joy and strife of the world. Here love meets Savitri. Just here love meets Savitri. So in the end we will try to quote, this is a beautiful definition as defined by the master. So unknowing everything is coming, all are changed, all the delight, beauty, grace, gladness, rapturous moment, momentous moment, time we can find. So and finally this hour has been fixed, destined spot is closed, end of the entire long age long waiting has ceased here. It has been put to an end, and this is at this momentous hour, nature is at its beauty's festival, we can see, and there will be a great meeting, and Savitri here finds in the form of the great mother, indefinable mother, in the form of Savitri, is set to begin her divine unfinished task. A sacrificant of the bliss and the pain of the spheres, love in the wilderness met Savitri. Bande Mataram.